Let's move up and talk about the mothership of all panes, and that's the control pane. I'm going to click on my black arrow. I'll be calling it the black arrow a lot in this series, but it's actually called the selection tool. It's just easier to learn if you associate with the black arrow. So we're going to move up here and look at the control pane. You may call it the measurements palette because we've called it that for years in Quark Express. But if you go up under Window and look for measurements, it's not there. It's the control pane. Take your black arrow and click on the type right here at the top of your document. And you'll notice that the control pane comes alive. So you're going to feel at home with a lot of these choices because it's familiar territory. X and Y coordinate, width and height, percentage of enlargement, rotation. We've been here before. This isn't new to InDesign. Quark's got this. But what is new is what you see over here on the right side of the control pane. If you're converting from an earlier version of Quark, there's nothing like this at all. Later versions of Quark started adding more and more to the measurements palette, so we've got some familiar territory here. We're not going to explore every button. What I want you to learn is what I've been saying before, and that is if you put your cursor over one of these icons that you don't know what it is, a little tip will pop up and it will show you flip vertical, flip horizontal, rotate. The W is width. Pretty simple. Now, if you're paid by the hour and you want to change the width, you may want to put your cursor in there. Let's say I want to change this to 53p. I'm going to backspace and make that 3. Yeah, we could do that. Or let's say it's 52p6. Delete 2, and let's put our cursor here. Delete 6. If you're on salary or if you're on deadline, you may want to just click on the W, and that will highlight everything in that window. That's the same with all of these tools. As you click through, you'll see that as you click on the icon to the left of the window, you'll see that it highlights in blue everything in the window, and you can just type on your keyboard and change the numbers. Just like Quark Express, if you change tools, I'm going to go to the Type tool and click in the Type. You'll notice that now our control pane has changed to all type-specific choices. There are so many options available to us in the control pane. All the way to the left, you'll see there's an A and a paragraph symbol. If you click on the paragraph symbol, it's paragraph-specific items. Over here, they've given us a few character choices, but the bulk of this is paragraph-related. Click on the character icon there, or the A, and you'll see it's character-specific with a few paragraph choices off to the right. So the control pane is dynamic, and it changes depending on what you're working on. Let's go back to our black arrow. So what they've done, if you look in the top here, you'll notice that with this box selected, we've got the choice of adding a stroke to that box. So basically, what you've got in this little area is a mini stroke palette. Let's go look at the stroke palette and compare. You'll see that the stroke palette has a lot more options than what we have available to us up here. So what you've got is a small version of the stroke palette where you can choose the width and you can choose the type of stroke. But that's it. You want more options, you still need the stroke pane down here. I'll recess that. Just like all the other panes I showed you, the control pane has a flyout menu. This is really important because they put a lot of choices in here that are consolidated from many of the panes versus going to individual panes. Let me give you an example. I put my cursor in the type and I'm on my character or paragraph mode of the control pane. If I go to the flyout menu, you'll see I have paragraph rules, for example, but I also have no break and underline options. Down here, bullets and numbering, hyphenation. Well, these choices actually reside in 2 or 3 individual panes, but because we're using the control pane's flyout menu, we have one source for many choices versus hunting down these selections in a bunch of individual panes.